The lawyers I'm talking to, they say 50-50 chance that that judge could enact that injunction. Now, it wouldn't be instantaneous. There'd have to be a period of time for that to take place. But let's hypothetically say 6 months. Like, the whole concept of cooperation in the MLS could cease to exist. And that will certainly have an impact on the way we do business. And I'll stop there, as I know you got a lot of questions.
So that injunction, that would go in effect immediately?
No.
No, that would be a time.
There'd have to be a time frame. The judge wouldn't, I mean, I'm not the judge, to be clear, but in sort of precedents has been shown a significant change like that. They would agree and negotiate a period of time. You know, NAR asks for a year, the judge comes back in 90, we end up at 6 months, somewhere in there, like 90 days to 6 months. There needs to be time for your forms to be updated, the MLS data fields to be updated, et cetera.
So what do you think the chances are on that being put in place with no cooperating compensation being offered in the MLS?
You know, I'm speaking to some pretty significant lawyers that I'm talking to. I'm not going to disclose who, but just there's, you know, my contacts are pretty heavily involved and are you know, talking to defense lawyers and others. 50-50. I'd say 75% chance that NAR loses this trial. And again, I hope they don't, but like, I think plaintiffs have a very good case. Here's the crappy part is you can look at this two different ways. So the Northwest MLS enacted this policy last October, so a year ago, where they made it where you didn't have to offer any cooperation in the MLS. I should rephrase that. You can be zero. So like, the field for offering cooperation became, you could put 0 to whatever you wanted to do, essentially. The irony of it is it hasn't changed anything. Very, very minimal impact. Like, the whole concept of cooperation still exists. Sellers are still offering, you know, whatever they negotiate with their agent. Like, it really had very little impact. So you can look at that two ways. You can look at that from the standpoint that, my opinion, and I'm going to end with this in this conversation eventually, is that I think the DOJ and the Federal Trade Commission, which no one's talking about, the FTC, is absolutely going to see that as why they want to come in and completely change all the policies.